Now, a brief example is, let's say, like our session today, I just want to introduce you to something a little bit interesting. Like, you might be wondering how you can actually create a website from scratch without knowing proper procedures. Because one of the things that sometimes might be a problem to so many guys is how to get started when it comes to you creating your own website. And sometimes I don't blame people and tell them that you don't know what you're doing. But ideally, you can use ChatGPT as a very simple guide in your web design process. Okay? So I'm going to show you something very simple. So recently, I have this particular domain. The domain name is toop.digital. T-O-O-P. All right? So you are not sure where to start when it comes to creating your website. ChatGPT can be your very, very good companion. All right? So I'm going to open a new chat over here. And I always tell guys that make sure that you are aware on how to use ChatGPT. So, like when I open ChatGPT over here, I can easily put in something like a prompt, a very simple prompt. Like I can say something like this: I am creating a website for an agency called Toop Digital. All right, that is the name of the agency. I am using WordPress. Let's say, since we've covered WordPress themes and plugins, let's say you want to use a theme like which one? There's a theme I'd like for you guys to research on how to use. It's called Kadence. All right. So you can even say like the WordPress theme I want to use is, we can say Kadence. All right. That is the name of the theme itself. Now, the next thing that you will do is you can say something like, the WordPress theme I want to use is Kadence. I would like for you to help me come up with a step-by-step procedure on how I am going to set up my website. All right. You want to get like a step-by-step procedure on how you're going to set up your website. Now, it's not all the time that you'll be knowing how to actually set up your website. So at this point, you will use, you'll be able to use like ChatGPT. Like you see already, it's telling you, phase 1 is preparation of the website, where you buy a domain and hosting. Now, for me, I personally recommend that you use Hostinger or Host Pinnacle in Kenya. However, if you have the money, just pay for Hostinger. Yes, Host Pinnacle in Kenya might be cheap, but I honestly don't think it's the best option. So you can look at this particular document. Like phase 1 is preparation. So you buy domain and hosting, then you install WordPress, you log into your WordPress dashboard. You already log into it. Now, like this is the WordPress dashboard. This is the WordPress dashboard. This is what you're looking at. This is the WordPress dashboard. Now, in the WordPress dashboard, this is where all the work is actually done. So if I come over here, let me just close these for now. It has given me a few instructions. And the best thing that you can do is to create a new doc using Google Docs. Now, you create a new document using Google Docs. Now, this document is going to be your reference document, right? So like I can create a new document and say something like the title of this document. Now, the name of the agency is Toop. So the name of the agency is Toop. Let me just paste these over here. Toop Digital Website Setup and Design. So I'll just come directly over here and I'll just come over here, copy all this information. This is all the information that we need for the website, like how to set up the website. You see, all these are the particular steps. So we'll come, I'm going to select all these and paste all this information. So this document is going to be like a guide. And you see the good thing about all this, it has the good thing about using Google Docs. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, phase 6. So phase 1, let's look at phase 1. This is phase 1. We can make it a to-do list. Use Hostinger. We've purchased the domain and the hosting. That is done. Have we installed WordPress? That is done. Now the next step is this. The URL, getting the URL and the domain. This is done. So we can actually, let me just remove these spaces. the domain, and the login credentials are available. We now need to clean up default content. So how do we clean up default content? I'll come over here to the WordPress backend and come and click on posts, then click on all posts. All right. Then we do away with this. So I'm going to select all this, double click over here, move to trash and apply. We don't need that particular blog. All right. You can move to the trash again and you want to empty the trash. Okay. Then the next thing is pages. We don't want the current existing pages. We come select all these. We move to trash, all of them. All right. And then we come to the trash and then we come and say empty trash. We do away with all existing pages that have been created. Then you can go to the plugins tab again. On the plugins tab, if you have any existing plugins, you remove all of them. All right. So if you come back to our document, we've deleted all these now. Then we've also removed like all the plugins. Then we just check that now. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, are we still together up to that point? Are we still together? I want to know if you're still together. This is how, like, for example, like you don't know how to actually set up your website step by step. You can use ChatGPT to guide you on this. Now, next thing is, phase 2 is install Kadence theme and plugins. So we come and select these and we say we convert this to a to-do list. This is the importance of structure, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the things that I would like to tell you. How to stay organized. How to stay organized. So now you'll easily update your client. You will tell, like if your client came and asked you, so you've been saying that today you've done work. What is it that you have done today? You will tell them, okay, the first thing I did was I installed WordPress. The next thing I did was set up the admin credentials. I deleted posts. So it's easy for you to track what you have done. All right. You track the progress of your work. Now, the next thing is this. The phase 2 is installing the theme, the Kadence theme. So you install Kadence theme. So what we will do is go to appearance, themes, and add new. Very simple procedures. We come back over here, appearance, and then we click on themes. All right. So when we click on that, and then we click on add new theme, we want to add a new theme. So the theme I want to use is a theme called Kadence. So I click over here and I say Kadence. That is the theme I'm actually going to be looking for. Here it is. It's a very good theme. Now, I had installed it previously. All right. So I just need to click on activate. Right. So we've installed the theme. It's already set up. So I come back again and I say I have installed the theme, searched for the theme and activated it. Then we can click on install Kadence starter templates. That is a new plugin. So I go back again. Let me just remove the space over here. Plugin that install Kadence starter templates. So I come back over here and then I'm going to click on this particular this part over here. There is something called Kadence. You get start, like you want to create, like you want to install this. There's a tab that you might see over here. Get started with an AI powered website. So you can easily get to install this particular plugin. All right. So what I will do is I'll just come, click on install starter templates. All right. When I click on install starter templates, it's going to be installed automatically. And after installation, all that is good. So I come back again to my document. And then I say the plugin has been installed. Now the next thing is to go to appearance and starter templates. So we come back again. Appearance. Now, I don't know if we can go to, all right, the starter templates are actually here. They're here. This particular thing is over here, starter templates. So for now, let's go back again to the document. So we'll check this. Now choose a template closest to your agency's feel. Like you want to use an existing template that you want to edit using the Kadence theme. So I'm just going to come back over here. We don't want to click on this one that is AI generated. We want to select this one that is written use classic starter templates. So I'm just going to click on use classic starter templates. And when I click on that, now I can use any starter templates that I find useful over here. Now, one of the things that you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, you have to select the page builder that you will actually be using. Now, apparently for me, I decided that the page builder I will use is the Elementor page builder. So at the top over here, if you look at the top over here, there's a tab that allows you to select the page builder that you want to use for your website. So click over here. Why is it not really showing up? But it's not a problem. We can come and first of all select, it's this tab. So first of all, I'm going to select this and change it to the Elementor page builder. That is what I want to use. You can see you are able to get like various themes that you can use for your website. Like if you look at this, these are some of the various themes that you can actually get to use for your website. No, not themes, starter templates. Let me apologize for that. Starter templates. So this is the Elementor. These are some of the templates that you can start with. Like an example is, like for this particular agency, the main specialty that they're going to be doing is that they're going to be specializing in SEO. Now, for someone who might not be aware of what SEO is, SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. Search Engine Optimization. So, like if you look at this one is on SEO skills. There's another one over here on a web design agency. And I think these are actually free. So when it's written premium over here, you have to buy it. But if it's not written, you can actually just get to use it very, very easily. So I look at all these and I decide that probably I want to go with this one. That is a web design agency, or I can go with this one. In fact, you can just select the what is it called? The template itself, and look at how it's actually behaving. Like if you look at this is like the home page, and you can click again over here to see what is happening. Like if this one is for courses mostly. If this one is not making you happy, you can just go back again. I can come and like select this one on web design agency. So let me see how it actually looks like. All right, so this one is a web agency. So if you click over here, you're able to preview how it actually looks like on the various pages. You can go to the About Us page and understand what it is about this particular agency. You'll be able to see a lot of information. Like on a brief manner, what if we decide to go with this particular theme? Remember, you can also be able to select different colors. Like you can select this to see how it's actually going to look like. This is one different color. Let me just go directly so that I can go to the home page. Remember, when you click on the home icon, you are able to go directly to the home page. Change the colors and see how it looks like that. You play around with it. All these are templates that you can get to use to start. So after selecting like this one, then we click on next. All right, and then we can say whether we want to import the full site over here. We want to get permission whether we can import the full site. So we say import the full site, and if you click on the advanced settings, you just if you want to import customize the settings, that is when it comes to the customization, you can actually just enable this, and then you want to click on next. And if you come back over here, when you're setting up your file, you can see it's already telling you to choose a template closest to your agency's field, clean, modern, or service based. So we've already selected that template. Then it's going to ask for us to install plugins. So apparently there is this plugin they need, that is Fluent Forms. You can install Kadence Blocks. If you want to sell something online, you can use WooCommerce. All right. And if you want to accept donations, we can do something like that. And then we just click on finish and launch, and then we click on start import. So immediately after doing that, everything is actually going to start being done for you. All right, you can use Kadence, the starter templates available, and just install something like you can easily edit. Right, ladies and gentlemen, are we still together up to that point? Is there anyone who has a question? Anyone who would like to ask a question? Anyone who has a question up to that particular point, as the importation is going on? Joel, are we together?
Yes, Mr. We are together. I'm enjoying the session.
Good. So the whole idea behind using ChatGPT is you might not know the structure or how you can actually work on your website. But with this, now you're able to check as you move on by each step, you're able to check. Like now, the next step is to install plugins. Like there's a Kadence Blocks. You also have the Kadence Pro. If you have the paid version. Now, I happened to have purchased the Kadence Pro version. It's not mandatory really. You can use the free version generally. So then you can see it tells you to install the necessary plugins, all the necessary plugins, and then you're able to plan your pages over here. Like you're able, now you can come and select like this, and you can convert this into a, you're going to make it a to-do list or a checklist basically. So you have the home page. Is it done? About us, services, portfolio, blog, contact us. Are these done? Then you can customize the header and the footer. Are these done? Global styles. All right. And all these are things that you can really do on the go. All right. Like it's going to allow you to stay accountable. Right. So if a client was to ask you, Mister, what have you done today? You tell the client, okay, let me just send you a very simple workflow of what I've been doing for the day. And the good thing about all this is that it gives you the accountability that you need as a web designer. So the importation is done. Then I just click on see my site. So I want to see what I have actually imported. So in that particular very simple domain name that we had, let's see how the website actually looks like. So this is our website now. Okay, like if you look at this, very simple, doesn't have a lot of information, very simply well done. Like if you look at this, okay, now you can use a starter template to begin your work. All right, you look at this is what we refer to as a starter template. Then you can go to the About Us page and review how the website actually looks like. You look at all these and you're like, oh, okay, it's not very bad. Strong theme, something like this. Then you can come again to the contact page to see how the contact page actually looks like. So you can take a template and just edit it out and use it. Okay. Then you can click on the home page again. Now the home page is, I don't know why they've put the home page over there. And you can also go ahead and check the portfolio. Like for example, if you want to check the portfolio page, if you look at this is like a very simple portfolio. Yeah. And this is like a simple website. You can go and click on the blog page and you see how the blogs are actually coming out very nicely, very well laid out. So you don't really have to struggle when it comes to you creating your website from scratch. All right. You can install a starter template and use it to your benefit. Like if you look at this is honestly very, very nice and very simplified for you. Now, what you can do, the next thing that you might want to do is you want to customize over here, right? Now in the customization tab, like now probably, let me show you something now interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Now probably you don't know how to customize this thing. So what you do is you want to, first of all, you can come and select all this information. I don't know if you can select all this. Let me just, or we don't have to select all this. So what we will do is we'll come to ChatGPT and say, I am in the customization tab of the website. I am using the Kadence theme and I do not know where to start with customization. So then you say something like, kindly guide me. Then we hit enter. So automatically, now ChatGPT is going to come up with like a whole step-by-step walkthrough for you. It's going to tell you the first step, site identity, upload your logo, add a site title, upload a favicon. All right. Next thing, global colors and fonts. Set up your brand colors and font styles. Then you move on, header layout, footer layout. It's going to give you a complete guide of what you will do. Then you click on customize, page layout, blog post layout. Like you see, it gives you information that you can actually get to use very, very easily. So you can come and even add in this particular document, like you can say, the first tab is setting up and preparation. So this document, the reason as to why you create such a document is so that you understand what you're doing. Now, I'm going to click on add a new tab. And in this tab, I'm going to rename it and say that the name of the tab is customizing my website. And then we hit enter. So this tab has the following items, all these. And now this tab has the following items. So this information that we've checked. So I'll just come over here and copy all this information. All this, all the way. You're a beginner, you probably don't know where to start. Then you click on paste. Okay? So when you do that, the next thing that you want to do is you want to look at what needs to be done. First of all is upload your logo. All right? So if you come to the customization settings, let's come to the colors and fonts. As usual, this is where you actually get to change your colors. Like if you want to change the colors of your website. Like an example, if you click on colors, you are able to see the various colors that are existent over here. Okay? Now, this is color palette number 1, and you can change the colors over here. Feel free to change the colors. Now, I don't know if I have a logo for that particular agency. Yes, I think I do. So the logo, now there's something else I want to introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen. There are various logo design software. Now, the most basic that you can use is a software called Canva. But when it comes to advanced logo design, you might probably have to use a software called Adobe Illustrator. How many people have heard of a software called Adobe Illustrator before? Adobe Illustrator. Adobe Illustrator. Yeah. If you want to like get into professional logo design, one of the best softwares that actually exists is Adobe Illustrator. Now there happens to have other software, but for me, I think the industry standard when it comes to logo design, especially when it comes to creation of vectors, you might need to learn how to use a software like Adobe Illustrator. Now, logo design is a lucrative skill to learn, right? Like setting up such a logo on a basic level in Kenya, you can charge a minimum of maybe 2,500 Kenyan shillings. Now, there are logo designers in Kenya who actually make more than that. I believe the highest I've seen someone get paid for a logo was 200,000 Kenyan shillings, right? So if you can be able to perfect the art of designing logos, you can build a career from this. So like this is the logo, and this is what that we've designed so far. And as you can see, what you're looking at over here is like the color palette, the specific colors that you want to use. So Adobe Illustrator, once I normally tell people that if you can be able to use Microsoft Docs, not Microsoft Docs, Google Docs, and something like Google Sheets, you might easily be able to use a software like Adobe Illustrator. So like I want to know this particular color code. What color is this? Yeah, what color is this? So I select it, and then I double click inside over here, and this is its color code. This is what we refer to as a color picker. If you look at this is what we refer to as a color picker. Let me highlight this. Don't know if I'll be able to highlight. This entire tab is what we refer to as a color picker. I don't know why it's not highlighting. Good. It's now highlighting. So this entire tab, all these are color picker. So this is the color code. This one over here. So I copy that. All right. Then I come back to my website. In the first color, I'll change it to that. And you can see automatically everything has changed. Next thing is, this tab is the accent color, the alternative color. We can then come back. I can come back over here. I can pick like, probably this is going to be my second color. One of the biggest recommendations that I've always had, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Learn how to play around with colors. How many people have ever heard of a color wheel? How many people have heard of a color wheel before? How many people have heard of a color wheel? All right. If you've heard of a color wheel, you can try something like the Canva color wheel, so that you understand how to work with colors. I say that if you can play around with colors and combine colors that have different shades, and you can be able to play around with them, you stand a better chance. All right, you stand a better chance at becoming a good designer, because color theory is very, very important. You can't combine you don't want to combine colors that look weird. Like how many people have ever seen a design that has like 1 million colors? You open a design and you're like, Jesus Christ, none of you, who is this who was given this particular job? All right, color theory is a very, very good thing for people to study. So let me just proceed on. This is the second color. I'm just going to copy it over here. So I'm just going to paste it like that. And then this one is the color of this text, the strongest text. Like if you look at this, We can even decide to change the color of the strongest text. Then this one is a subtle background. All these seem okay. You can just leave them as they are if you'd like to change them. Like we have the color of the strongest text. You can change it to black if you wish. If you click again over here, now this is the color of the medium text. This is the color of, there are so many adjustments that you can easily make. There's also a color of a subtle background. Like if you have like a subtle kind of like a background. So to make sure that we have some uniformity, I can come back over here and look like at one of the colors that probably has a subtle background. Yeah, well, this one serves the purpose. This is a color code. I'm just going to select it as it is, copy it, right? But remember, I probably believe most of you guys are actually aware of how to use Canva. Canva is a very good tool anyway. So that is our color now. And you can change the site background over here. You can change the site background to maybe one of the colors. Like if you'd like to have like this as the background color, if this is what you want to have. But mostly for the site background, you're recommended to have like one background that is not, like a background that is not so dark, all right? So we have something like that up to this particular point, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if I click back again, I can come and format how the buttons will look. So I don't know if I have any buttons in any part of the website, but if there happens to be any button, now this is where you actually come and make the adjustments. So the background color is going to be one of the initial colors, and then the next color, which is the accent color over here. And you see, it's quite easy to actually get to format and customize your website very easily. Next thing is typography. You click on this. Now, you might not know which font you want to use. You're not very sure which font you want to use. I've always recommended, guys, like there's a website, Google Fonts. Google Fonts is like the perfect website for you who is looking for a font for your website. Not only for web designers generally, but you can even get fonts for probably your own designs, like graphics. You will find so many fonts over here. Now, as you advance, like for graphic designers, there's a website called Da Font. How many people have heard of Da Font before? Da Font. This is the website you can probably use if you want to get stylish, like some stylish kind of designs, stylish fonts that you can use for your website. Okay? So over here, like for me, I'll come and use the fonts. Or I can say, I don't know which fonts I want to use. On ChatGPT, I can come and say, I do not know which fonts I can use for my website. For my website, for headings and the body text. Kindly guide me. And then we hit enter. So now it's going to try and help you probably choose the fonts. Here's a quick tailored guide for Toop Digital, assuming you're going for a clean, modern, and creative agency feel. So modern plus friendly. It's going to tell you for the headings, use a font called Poppins, and for the body, use Open Sans. If you want to use a professional and a sleek kind of a style, for headings, use Montserrat, and for the body, use Roboto or Lato. Let's try the first option. For the headings, I'll come over here, click inside, click over here, and say the font I've been told to use is, I'm going to say Poppins. Select it. So that is the font for the headings. So you can now easily see the headings have changed. Then, the main font over here, Open Sans. Let's try it out. Open Sans. So that's how it looks like for now. Now, I can probably say I'm not yet satisfied with that. I can come back again and look at this other one. It says, for headings, use a font called Montserrat, and for the body, use Roboto or Lato. So I come back again, headings, I say Montserrat. And then, for the base font, I can say, let me try Lato and see. We can see what we have. Well, this is kind of like looking like something, yeah? What do you think about that? If you look at this kind of looks like something, and we can reduce the font size over here to make it a little bit smaller. All right? this kind of looks like something that someone can actually get to use. All right. So this is now the fonts like for everything. In fact, you can even easily change the colors of your H1s. You can change the color of your H1s to this. All right. If you want to use this, you can use that. For me, I prefer like this. So any heading one, that is, remember when it comes to headings in something we refer to as cascading style sheets, that is CSS. We normally have in cascading style sheets itself, we normally have H1 all the way to H6. So it all honestly depends on what you actually want to have basically done for you. But one of the things I just want to stress out, most important, ladies and gentlemen, is this. When you're creating your website, make sure that you pair fonts vizuri. I saw someone creating a website that has a font. I don't know what font this was. You know, it's like creating a website and using Times New Roman as your default font for your entire website. Honestly, sometimes, by the way, like when you use such a kind of a format, how many people have ever opened a website and you've seen the website imetengenezwa na Times New Roman? How many people have opened a website and you realize that the website has been created with Times New Roman? The font, like honestly, let's try and change the website. I just want you to see. Let's change the website to Times New Roman and see what it actually looks like. Do you think this is comfortable, ladies and gentlemen? If I might ask you, do you think that is really comfortable for you? Like when you're creating a website and you use Times New Roman as your default font, do you think it makes sense? Like I just want to ask for anyone in this particular session. You can't honestly use a font like Times New Roman in your website. One of the things I would recommend really is to use fonts that make sense. Remember in the beginning of our classes, we talked about serif and sans serif fonts. It all depends. Like if you don't want to use, like, let's even try and change the font to something like Arial. I mean, there are fonts that you probably might be so used to. You might be so used to some certain fonts to a level that you're tired of them. Like if you look at this, how many people use Arial most of the time in their documentation? How many people use the font called Arial? Arial. Or anyone who's probably used a font called Arial in their website? Well, generally, my recommendation is you don't really want to use some of these old fonts. Yeah. So, like for our previous Nini, we had set up as Lato. That is the font that we had actually decided to set up. All right. So now you can easily come and see that it's coming out well. You can decide to change the color of your heading to something else. Like you can decide to change it to something else if you want to. Like I can change the heading to be this particular color. And you can move on and on until you find the point where you are personally, you're personally satisfied with your creation. But remember, at the end of the day, you are not creating a website just for the sake of it. All right? You're not creating a website just for the sake of it. All right? So, next thing I will do is always make sure to publish your changes. It's always important for you to do that. Publish your changes. Publish your changes, because when you publish your changes, ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me? Joel, am I audible? I just want to know if I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Thank you. So, the whole thing about creating your own website is you want to use fonts that make sense. Yeah, that's one of the things I recommend. Fonts that make sense. So currently, this is what we've paired with. You can go on, like you can see, you have various options. You can see you have, you can combine like this particular font, like this one. It's called Playfair Display. You can pair it with a different font and see how it actually comes out. But at the end of the day, you want to create something that is functional, really. So I think that should really help you, ladies and gentlemen, even as you continue with your web design process. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to create a website and you've combined fonts that a client is, first of all, feeling disgusted. Like, have you ever opened a website and you realize that it has fonts? You look at those fonts and you're like, hey, was this website being created by a nursery school child or something like that? But anyway, yeah. So let me just proceed on. We have done a number of customizations. Now you can come back again. You can customize your header now over here. So this is your header. Yeah. Currently, if you click on the settings tab, you're able to see everything about your header. If you click on the design tab, you can see it doesn't have a background. The general tab, you can change a number of things. You can adjust the height of your header like that. All right. You can adjust it in any manner like you prefer. And you can even change your logo over here. Like for example, I can change my logo. So I can decide to, for example, like I think this is kind of good anyway. So I don't know if it's right for me to, let me just remove this and select an icon. So I want to upload my logo. So let me upload my logo because I believe I have it over here. So let me upload one of these ones over here. Unfortunately, we have to upload the PNG file for now. So let me look for it. Or let me export this. Let me export this. This, I just want to click on File, Export. If you can be able to like design logos with this particular software, I think you might be so ahead. But yeah, it's another way for you to get to make some income. I think if you can be able to design logos, it's like a good chance for you to make some extra income. So let me try and let me go and get that particular logo. I think this one is it. So let me try and upload it and select it. Crop it like that. Crop it like that, and then click on crop image. So that's going to be my logo. All right. And for now, I just need the logo itself as the icon. So this is the logo. And let me increase the width so that it becomes a little bit larger. So we're going to have something like that. Yeah. You can see we are actually headed somewhere nice. So this is like the logo now, the icon there. We've changed it. We can preview on tablet devices again. Then we select, we just want the logo, nothing else. Mobile devices again. So let's see how it actually looks like. And now if you look at this, you realize that the heading, this heading is quite big. So the next thing that you might probably want to do is you'll go back to typography, colors and fonts, then you click on typography. For the heading 1, you adjust the font size because that's a heading 1. It's so big. We reduce it to a level like, or if you're not sure, you can always use ChatGPT in your web design process. You come back to ChatGPT and say, kindly help me with font sizes for the body text and heading text for my website in mobile view. So ChatGPT is going to give you like a few suggestions. Absolutely. Optimizing font sizes for mobile view is essential for readability and a great user experience. So for the body text, it's going to tell you to use like a font size of 16 pixels. So we come back to the customization tab and then we come to the top base size. We say this one is 16 pixels. So if we check, this is 16 pixels now. And then we go back again and we see that the line height is 1.6 to 1.75. So we come and say, now the line height is probably this one. So 1.75, or we can even have 1.65 just to be friendly, a little bit friendly. And the next thing, we just move to the next tab, H1. For heading 1s, we've been told to use between 30 pixels to 34 pixels. So we change that again. We come back. For the heading 1, we say that we want to use, let's say, because this one is a heading 1, let's try 40 pixels. It's a little bit large. So how about we use 35? All right. That is going to be for the heading 1. Then we come again to the heading 2. So what font size should be the heading 2? Between 24 to 28 pixels. So for now, we can say, let's use 28 pixels. And let's publish this so that we can see whether the changes are actually actualized. And then let's refresh and see what is happening. All right. Yeah. So you are able to do all this basically when it comes to you using ChatGPT as your guide as you move on. So let's change to mobile view. I don't know why this is not changing. So let me colors and fonts, typography, and then we click on H1. I don't know why the H1 font. Oh, I know why we're having this particular problem. Because if we go back directly to the post or pages layout, and then we say we want to view single, that is basically the single post layout, and then we click on design. This is a post title, all right? This is a post title. So we need to reduce it to something like 30 pixels. So let's see how it looks like now. Yeah, kind of a little bit makes sense. That is a post title itself. Yeah, you can change a number of things about it. Yeah, can change a number of things about it, like the font itself. But I think this is okay. Design is not just what it looks like and feels like. So you can generally get to use ChatGPT or through in your design to make sure that everything is coming out nicely. All right. So as you move on, like if you look at this particular document, it's going to give you an entire guide on what you're supposed to be doing, like global styles. All right. Home page setup, about us page setup. All these is information that can actually help you. All right. Submit your sitemap to Google Search Console. Speed optimization, compress images, use a CDN, that is something like Cloudflare. So all this is information that can probably help you in your web design process. And even if you get stuck somewhere, like for example, you can realize, oh, my header is this and this, because I've realized that maybe I may not be available all the time to help you with the problems that you encounter in the process of creating your website. The thing that you will do is you really want to have that kind of a seamless web design process by just you having an assistant who is at your beck and call, right? Like in the process of you creating your website, you just want to do things in a seamless manner where you are creating your website. If you get stuck somewhere, you can actually you just get to consult. I hope this information really gets to help you along the journey. I really do hope that it can help you. Joel, do you think it's something that can help you in your web design process? Like if you get stuck, you can use ChatGPT for that.
Sure, it is.
It's
Very
something that can
helpful.
help you, huh?
Yes.
Good. I'm happy for that. Marion, do you think it can help you?
Yes.
It can help you, huh?
Yes, it can.
Good. Thank you, everyone. Is there anyone who has a question, probably? Anyone who has a question? Anyone who has a question, you can unmute yourself. Yes, Joel.
Yes, maybe I want to know how to submit those sitemap to Google Console.
Or sitemap?
Yes.
I think the best thing for you to do is to do it yourself. An example would be you just come to ChatGPT and say, how can I submit my sitemap to Google Search Console? You will get the information. Funny thing, instead of having to go to Google or YouTube, like you don't have to struggle a lot. So you can see that first of all, it's going to tell you to install an SEO plugin. After you install an SEO plugin, they're going to say Rank Math is the most recommended. Yes, install Rank Math. Then you'll be told to step 2, locate your sitemap URL. Once the plugin is active, your sitemap is usually available at, you can see this, it's already showing you the link.
Okay.
Then the next, it tells you logging to Google Search Console, log into your Google account, your personal Gmail address. Then step 4 is to add your website if you have not done that. Click on add property, select domain or URL prefix. Now the domain is like what you have. Unaona ile yenye tulikuwa tunatumia?
Yes.
www,
then you proceed.
Yeah, this is like a very long process, but one of the best things you can do, one of the easiest processes that you can actually get to do is, let me just go back again. I'm just going to go back to the dashboard. When I go to the dashboard now, Like, let's say I'm going to come and install a plugin. There's a plugin you can easily install. It's called SiteKit. So when you install that particular plugin, it's where is it? Let me search for Google. If you search for Google, it should really pop up. So this is the plugin itself. It's called SiteKit by Google. Like if you want to index your site for Google, so this is what you will do. And then you click on activate to install. Now the reason as to why you install this particular plugin is so that you can get regular insights on how your website is actually performing, right? So now you just click on start setup and you proceed on to sign in with Google over here. Now this happens when you have already probably completed your website, right? So I can select one of my email addresses over here. Now the indexing is essential because it helps now you. How do you add a payment option to your website? Already guys want to, yeah. You proceed on with all this. Payments option are now in the tab of advanced web design. This one is just beginner, yeah. You can set up something like Intasend. Intasend allows you to collect payments online, yeah. Intasend is a payment gateway. It's Kenyan based, I think, that allows you to use their systems to collect payments for your website. You can use M-Pesa. You can use Visa cards, MasterCards, depending on your preference. But this is something that is going to be tackled next. So now you've been able to set up your website like that. So just like you install the plugin and you set up like that. And like in any moment when you get stuck, I think ChatGPT is still your friend. Is that okay, Joel?
Of course, I get you. Thanks a lot.
Good.
Maybe I have another issue I want to know about in Kenya, basically in Tanzania, is a little bit complicated about payment gateway. When I started building my site, I was really focusing on how to get payment so that people can purchase direct. But after getting the payment gateway, I found that a lot of people do not understand and they don't purchase the product direct to the website.
Yeah.
How about this question to your country?
Yeah, it's the same situation. It's the same situation, honestly. We are able to trust websites. The thing is, they've been scammed so much to a level that you just don't trust any online payment platform. So if you have to collect payments online, you might also probably need another extra option. Like in Kenya, we use M-Pesa till numbers. So if someone doesn't want to use the website, you tell them, okay, then you can use the till number. Kenyans don't like history kulipa na website. Kenyans people don't like, honestly, because people are like, hey, wait a minute, na nikilipa ipote, but they don't know that the money is coming to you. So what you do is you give them a next option. Like I normally give my clients an option of, first of all, you can use an M-Pesa till number, or you can do an direct M-Pesa deposit, or probably you can even do like something like a bank transfer. But most of the time, I find that till numbers actually really work well.
Okay, that's what I think, guys. Here we have to understand, when you are building a website for a client, he or she must be happy or willing to get a payment gateway. Sure. Can you imagine? I struggled a lot to get this payment gateway. I just conducted Flutterwave. Somebody in Tanzania called I don't remember. Oppo is DPO. Yes, DPO. Then finally I get from Pesapal. I get the payment from Pesapal. But it was not easy to get that payment gateway, but it didn't work for what I thought it will be.
I would try Intasend. I think Intasend can work well because I've tried Pesapal. Pesapal has very poor services.
Sure.
DPO is not the best, honestly. Paystack is a bit of a problem. These guys stay with your money. The one I've found that makes sense currently is Intasend. Intasend is what I would recommend. You can probably try them, contact them, and ask them if they can allow you to collect money from Tanzania. But I am not sure. You try it, by the way, because for me, I have really come to like Intasend. I actually had to integrate it in my like a number of my websites. Like even when
Yes.
I'm having like a workshop,
Mm.
let me get like a latest link actually. So the good thing about using Intasend is that you're able to get payment links. Now, what payment links allow you to do
Okay.
is that they allow you. I
Yes.
don't know if I have one of the. Let me try and see if I have. Oh, this one. Like for example, like I have a masterclass on meta ads happening next week on maybe from Saturday and Sunday. So, like
Of
if your
course,
website
I
now,
just also wanted to ask you about the issue of ads, sponsored ads.
yeah, ads really work. Like if you're doing content creation today, and
Yes.
you don't rely so much on organic traffic, you do ads.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you had like
Okay.
a budget of ads, mostly like in Kenya, I came to realize if you want your ad to really perform well, have a minimum budget of like a
Yes.
thousand shillings to 3,000 shillings per day. Your ad is actually going to perform so well, especially on Meta. So like if someone clicks over here on reserve my slot, they are taken over here to this tab where they're told to pay. So you'll input your
Okay.
name, all right,
Yes.
and then you're told to pay the Kenya shillings 2,500, like the amount of money. Then over here you'll just input your phone number,
Your phone number. Okay.
and you click on pay, and an STK push is going to be thrown to your phone. Unaona?
Okay.
So
Unaweka namba ya siri inakata.
like right now ishai push, it's already here, it's been pushed. You see,
Okay.
it's already
Yes.
been pushed over here. So I think that's the thing that people need to also understand, that sometimes it's easier for you to buy online because yes, you might be having some trust issues with it, but it makes your work easier because like the moment someone pays with the platform, immediately you receive a link to join the WhatsApp group, and like everything is set like that. So if you'd like, I think I would recommend
Yes.
try out Intasend. Intasend, I have tried it out, and I can honestly vouch for it.
Okay, I will try.
Yes. Good. I hope I've answered your question. Is there anyone else who has a
Sure.
question?
Sure.
I have a question.
Yes, Marion.
Hello.
Hi, Marion. I can hear you.
So let me take you back a little bit. When you're setting the H1 to H6 fonts, like are they supposed to be the same or different?
Yeah, different. The H1 has to be bigger than all the others. Like if H1 is like 40 pixels, the other one has to be like 34, then you move on to 28. So as you move down,
Okay.
they have to be smaller.
Leave alone the sizes, like maybe inter.
Oh, my recommendation is let all your headings have the same font.
The same font.
Yeah, for the purposes of there's a new trend, especially in web design. I don't know if it's new, but I think it's more clean when you have uniformity in your web design process. You don't want to have like a website that has like 50 fonts. Like even the person who's viewing your website is going to be like, "Hey, boss, how come you have Times New Roman, you have Arial?" Like you want to have that kind of a simple uniformity.
Yeah, because I consulted with ChatGPT and it was telling me H1 use inter, H2 use this and that. And so I wanted to get clarification if the fonts are supposed to be the same from H1 to H6 or different.
I think I would recommend have some uniformity. Like you see, even for me, like this one, I used one for my headings. They have this particular font. You see,
Yes.
they have one specific font. Like all headings have a specific font. Now this one just enables your website to look clean.
Yeah.
It just makes it look clean. It's not like if someone is looking at it, it's not really boring to like, if you find one, I don't know, these are different. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, thank you.
Karibu. Okay, is there anyone else who has a question? Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Let me share the recording to this particular session. I hope you've learned something tonight, and try and apply ChatGPT. It's really, really good. I had suggested that we continue with our classes. Like we just continue, even if you have to just be engaging in the WhatsApp group. I think it is worth it because we've covered a lot of things, and getting to engage with each other in the WhatsApp group is amazing. So from time to time, you can tell people what you've done. share what the progress that you've made. That is how you basically get to learn. But over and above, thank you so much. I'm really happy that you guys have learned something today. Yes, Marion?
Excuse me, Elvis. Can you please kindly check my header?
Yeah, I did check.
Yes.
Naona iko sawa.
The About Me, from the About Me page
Oh,
to
it's
the
not.
contact.
Let me check.
You see, this. You see, the About Me is really, really big.
This
I don't
space.
know. Yes, there's a space over there.
Which
It's
theme
big.
is this? Is it Astra?
Last time we changed it, right? You changed for me to Bloxy, right?
Bloxy, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have to log into the backend. Let me log into the backend and see where that could actually be. But it has to be in the, like if you go and check the page settings, you are able to adjust. Oh, like click on, in the About Me page. When you're editing the page, is it possible for you to like say Elementor full width? Did you change it to that?
I did.
You did change?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did.
Let me.
But I was thinking the problem is just in the general settings on the bit. But I did try to.
Not in the page, not in the header, in the page settings. Go to the page settings. In the page settings, you're going to find like there's a setting that normally adds a space at the top and at the bottom. I think that's, you need to disable that. You just say that you don't want a space at the top. Try that, or if ikikata, you just send me the credentials because I don't have them.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Let me work on sharing the recorded version of the session. I hope you've learned something. Thank you, and have yourselves a good night.